What's going on, people? Ben here from Bateman Talks Tottenham, back with another video for Dad Paul.
Hi.
Where today we'll be reacting to the 2-2 draw against Manchester United in a game where both teams had their chances. Wasn't the best start to the game for us, but once United scored, we came into it.
Yeah.
And I think ultimately, based on how dominant we were in that second half, you should say we should have come out of that game with a win, potentially.
We should, and Romero hit the crossbar with his header.
Yeah, we were very threatening on set pieces in this game, weren't we?
Especially second half, we were very dominant. And so many corners. And,
particularly in that first half, almost every corner it felt like we were going to score a goal. With some excellent deliveries from Pedro Porro, wasn't it?
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, and Richarlison's header was superb.
Yeah, brilliant again. I thought Richarlison had a pretty good game today. Held up the ball well many times. Brennan Johnson of the front three was probably the weakest. Timo Werner making his debut, who got an assist for Rodrigo Bentancur's goal. And I think he had flashes of brilliance, Werner, but also had some poor moments of finishing.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't played much in the last few months, and obviously he just met his teammates, so very early days.
I think it was a decent debut for Werner, and well, like you say, he's not played for a while, and he's not been playing every week, every minute, so it's going to take time. But I think generally he had an okay debut. Yeah,
he did. And nice to see Dragichin come on as well, and he did very well.
Yeah. Obviously, he came on later in the game. As Spurs kind of had 5 players in that defence, and then Mickey van der Ven came off later with some cramp, and it looked a bit worrying. We were wondering, is this going to be another injury? But in his interview, Mickey van der Ven said that it is only a cramp, which is a relief to hear, really. Cause
so not surprising, because he played almost the
entire game. Not played for 2.5 months.
Yeah, first game, so.
Yeah, but it was absolutely brilliant to see him and Romero back together, wasn't it?
Yeah, because we didn't think Romero was even going to make it, did we? The match.
But Kulusevski didn't make it, so we had that midfield of Rodrigo Bentancur, Skip and Højbjerg. And it's not that any of them were doing anything particularly poorly. I think Skip was probably the worst of the 3, but it's just we needed a different type of player in there. I think Højbjerg and Skip are a bit too similar for the role, and there wasn't enough creativity in midfield, and Bentancur was trying his hardest, but we needed somebody else in there. I think if we have Kulusevski in that role, I think we win today. Or even Sonny.
Yeah, and nice to see Bentancur getting a goal.
Yeah, no, it's a brilliant finish, and like we said earlier, a good pass from Werner, but I think Kulusevski being fit, we probably win this game. And as disappointing as it is not to get the winner or to score another one in the first half, with the chance United had at the end and a couple of the chances they had on the break in the first half, it's probably fair, but still one that feels a bit frustrating considering how dominant we were in the game. Rashford, I think he had a brilliant game for them.
Yes.
Porro really couldn't cope with him at times in that first half, and it was a threat every time they played it to him. But I think we dealt with him a little bit better in that second half, and I wonder if the Dragichin sub was just to kind of shore things up at the back and not wanting to risk losing the game when we played so well.
I'm sure that's right, and he seemed to slot in with all the passing absolutely fine.
Yeah, and Vicario, on his performance, you wouldn't say he had much to deal with, to be honest. Obviously, they scored 2 goals, but they didn't have that many shots.
No, and they were unstoppable goals too.
Yeah, Højlund's first goal, that was brilliant, wasn't it? That was an unbelievable finish in the roof of the net. The second one is a good finish from Rashford, but you'd like to think maybe Spurs could have got a block in and potentially stopped the ball going through as it went through Mickey van der Ven's legs. But it was a brilliant finish. It's just a case of could we have blocked that shot potentially, you'd say. But yeah, like I said, generally a good game and massive positives to take, isn't it?
Yeah,
particularly with the Man City game coming up, and James Maddison will be back for that game. And that we've played this well at Old Trafford, which is never easy to go to despite Man United's poor form. And we've been the better team. So that's the overall positive to look at. And with players coming back like Maddison, who hopefully will be back for the Manchester City game, and Kulusevski, with it being only an illness, you'd expect he'll be back, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So,
because apparently Skip had the illness.
Yeah, Skip and Udogie and said that they've all been struggling a little bit this week. So now we've got 10, 12 days off and time to give the signings some bedding in and massive preparation for the City game.
Sure. Looking forward to that.
Yes, we've just got to hope some positivity can come from this game, and I think it will, because I think we had a good account of ourselves. In terms of man of the match, I'd probably say Bentancur.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yeah, he got that anyway.
Brilliant game, and to come up with the goal as well. I think our other best player probably would have been Romero or Porro, maybe.
Yeah.
And Richarlison was brilliant. Richarlison was one of his best games, I think, in a while. And that's great to see. Again, him coming with another goal, another header from a corner. Yeah. He's getting quite good at them.
Yeah, I think they said 6 and 6, isn't it?
Yeah.
6 goals.
No, so that's great to see Richarlison. He's stepping up a bit.
Yeah.
I think the only concern from this game was Brennan Johnson. It's becoming a bit of a theme that he cannot cross the ball in the air. On the floor, I think his delivery is brilliant, but in the air, his crossing is very poor. Very poor. And granted, Wan-Bissaka is one of the best 1v1 defenders in the league, so it was never going to be easy for him today. No. But I did think he was quite poor in this game.
Well, so many of them went straight to the keeper.
Yeah. But we've just got to hope that it can be improved on. Yeah. And Brian Gill came on later on. He wasn't on for that long to make much of an impact, but I think he had a couple of nice passes.
Yes, he did. Yeah, very lively as always.
Yeah, and then obviously Emerson Royale came on later when Mickey van der Ven went off. But I think overall we've got to be happy to a degree with the performance and the result, considering that Scott McTominay header at the end. That was a certain goal. Yeah, the chance.
Should have been. Yeah.
Well, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, come on you Spurs!